Hello, in today's video I'll go over a deep guide into Shedletsky. I will go over Shedletsky's lore, all of the skins, how balanced everything is, what all of his abilities do, and how hard it is to get milestone 4 on him. I'll be making a series of these videos with hopefully every single character in the game so far, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy. The skins currently in shop are Street Stunter, Turkey Day, Olivia, Ironclad, Pirate, Knight, Rockstar, Figures, Sunderland, Y2K, Rockin', Fishker, Snifort, Retro, Vagabond, Bloodledge, Telemon, Guardian Angel, Shedletsky, 5 more Shedletskys, John Forsaken, Classic, Fencer, Modern, Chicken, Whales, Chef, Shadow Ninja, Megalifree, Memoriam, Light Ninja, Fire Ninja, opposite of Shedletsky, Bright Eyes, Vampire, Skyfleet, Crafter, Turking, The Heartbroken, Hot Dog, Louis School Gamer, Toon, Buff, Targetman, and Golden. The milestones, which is milestone 4, milestone 3, milestone 2, and milestone 1. The 3 special skins, which are the Awesome Ninja, the Guide, and the Artist. The seasonal skins, which are Santa, Earth Day, Bloxy, Shedletsky, and the Angel of Death. The total skins currently for Shedletsky in the game. I did also make a tier list for all of the Shedletsky skins. I did try and be as fair as I possibly could by accounting for all the custom stuff for the skin and the lore. Just keep in mind that part of this is still my opinion. That being said, you can comment something about the tier list and I might post something with the tier list changed. Feel free to pause here to look at my tier list. I will only be going over the skins that have to do with Shedletsky. Alright, so Shedletsky's kit consists of his chicken and his slash. I'm gonna give a basic rundown of both abilities right now. Shedletsky's slash has a cooldown of 40 seconds. If landed, it stuns the killer for 3 seconds and does 30 damage. Shedletsky's chicken heals him 40 health over the span of 10 seconds. It has a cooldown of 70 seconds. It only has 2 charges, and it disables once Shedletsky takes 10 damage. This is my guide to get Shedletsky's slash to hit more frequently. My first tip is to hide around corners so that the killer doesn't expect your slash as easily. My second tip is to get on high ground and then go off the high ground and slash, because the killer will most likely still be chasing you and they won't notice that you're trying to slash as quickly. My third tip is to try baiting the killer into thinking that you are going to slash by moving back and then going for the slash. That's about all the tips that I have for the slash. And sure, sometimes you might get lucky by running up to the killer and getting the slash, but it is always better to have a strategy. The next ability I will go over is Shedletsky's fried chicken. Shedletsky's chicken is best used when not in a chase, not near the killer, around a corner where the killer can't see you, and just pretty much out of the killer's sight entirely. That is his abilities. Really quick, I'd just like to say something, that if you celebrated Christmas in the past week or 2, I hope you had a great Christmas. Mom was great, and back to the video. Before I start rambling, I'd just like to say that all of this information is ripped off of the wiki page. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so Shedletsky is one of the 3 admins, the wielder of the Sword Found in the Heights swords, a creator of the chicken eating contest, a friend to Builderman and Dusakar, and his character is recognized as a key survivor of a figure of importance among other survivors. Shedletsky joined the admins as a creative director early on. His love for creation was something others could only aspire to be. He maintained connections with the other admins such as Builderman and Dusukar, forming alliances and establishing his role as a central figure among the survivors. His identity as Telemon is part of his history, and it continues to be recognized as part of who he is. The creation of Swordfight and the Heist kicked off a high in his life. Shedletsky would fall for a woman under the name of Bright Eyes, and the two married not long after. As the Swordfight and the Heights continued to grow in popularity and Telemon became more of a focus, Shedletsky would slowly abandon his duties to focus on his swordsmanship. Shedletsky's main enemy is 1x4, described as the embodiment of his hatred. The entity's only goal is to kill Shedletsky. After the attack on Robloxia, Telemon would be the person to bring up the idea of swords, basing them on his world, which would lead to a handful of them being created. As Telemon became more arrogant and powerful, Dusukar and Bright Eyes would begin to grow worried. A series of events would unfold, leading to hatred. 1X embodies everything that Shedletsky hates: his arrogance, self-centered identity, selfishness, and a drive for constant power. The original body that 1X was forced into by Roblox was rotted away, remembering little of their original life, only feeling the intense hatred of the world. Shedletsky remains constantly alert about 1x4's presence, preparing for a confrontation and understanding the danger it posed. His focus on facing his enemy influenced his movements and actions, shaping the challenges he encountered and the situations he navigated alongside the survivors. Shedletsky became forsaken when he went to face 1x4 alongside Dusukar. During this encounter against 1x4, he was defeated and killed by 1x. Shedletsky made a pledge to Builderman that said that he would protect all survivors at all costs. The first killer I'll go over is Guest 666. Like many of the other Sentinels, Shedletsky is also bad at dealing with Guest 666 because it's just really hard to get a stun and you just really die easily. The next killer I'll go over is Noli. Shedletsky counters Noli pretty well, seeing as that if the Noli messes up on their Void Rush, or if the killer doesn't teleport quickly enough, then the Shedletsky can stun them. The next killer I'll go over is Cool Kid. One way that Shedletsky counters Cool Kid is if the Cool Kid misses the walk speed override and hits a wall, then the Shedletsky can come in and stun them. The next killer I'll go over is Slasher. Shedletsky can counter Slasher in a couple ways. One of the ways being that when the Slasher misses their slash and while enraged, then the Shedletsky can stun them. Another thing that counters Slasher is that he doesn't have any ranged moves, meaning that if the Shedletsky stays far enough away from the Slasher, then that means that they can't get killed. The next killer I'll go over is 1X. Shedletsky doesn't have any counters that I know of for 1X, and it's most likely the reason why that Shedletsky and 1X have a feud. The next killer I'll go over is John Doe. Shedletsky doesn't really counter John Doe in any way, but instead John Doe counters Shedletsky, seeing as whenever Shedletsky tries to stun him in either Corrupt Energy or Digital Footprint, then he still does get stunned, but he gets Speed 1 right afterwards. The last killer I'll go over is Nosferatu. One counter that Shedletsky has against Nosferatu is when the Nosferatu goes into Ascension and misses his M1, then giving the Shedletsky time to stun him. Of course, this could change if the Shedletsky is experienced and good at juking, or if the killer is unexperienced. Alright, so first off I'm going to show all the ways that Shedletsky can get XP. The first way that Shedletsky can get XP is by doing generators. You get 15 XP for one generator puzzle and 75 XP if you do the entire generator. The second way that you can get XP is by successfully landing a hit with your slash. It gives you 30 XP for hitting the slash. The last way that you can get XP for Shedletsky is by winning a match. Every single win gives you 120 XP. This all changes though when the person has a VIP because it times the amount of XP by 0.25%. I also did some calculations by seeing how much of the amount of XP that you need for getting level 100. It's not including VIP. Alright, so you would need to win 495 games to get level 100 Shedletsky. 3,960 generator puzzles for getting milestone 4 Shedletsky, or 792 generators, or the final one being 1,980 slashes on the killer.